Time to talk about college football's latest commitments.
Locked On presents The Portal, the daily podcast covering college football recruiting and everything NIL. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back to The Portal Podcast, where you get your daily recruiting, NIL, and transfer portal scoop. I'm your host, Brian Smith, longtime college football writer and recruiting analyst. Thank you for making The Portal Podcast your first listen each and every day. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Today's show is going to be about commitments, but we also have to discuss a few players that are going to be announcing today. Probably going to do a show later as well. So first off, congrats to the Georgia Bulldogs. Kenny Ogboko, offensive tackle out of South Garner High School, 6'6", give or take 300 pounds. SEC, ACC programs, Notre Dame, you name it. This young man was coveted, one of the better offensive linemen in the country. Georgia has been picking up the offensive linemen here lately, and this might be the best of the bunch so far. This kid has all the talent in the world, really important recruit for Kirby Smart and his crew. Notre Dame gets back on the board. Speaking of offensive tackles, Grayson McHugh, offensive tackle, 6'7", 270 pounds. He's athletic enough to do a backflip. I actually reposted his attempt to do so and complete it here recently on X at 200 plus pounds. That's one thing, but over 250 doing backflips, you know you're an athlete. Pick Notre Dame over Penn State and Texas. This is going to be Notre Dame's best offensive line class for 2 years back-to-back in quite a while, and considering what they've done, that's really impressive for Marcus Freeman and the Irish. I think this is going to be a long-term deal. Like, they just continually get the top linemen. And as I say here on this show, constantly, if you're going to make deep runs in the college football playoff, you must consistently hit the home run with O-line and D-line recruiting. Notre Dame, and just prior, when I was talking about the former recruit, Georgia, those are two of the programs that do it, and that's why they're always contenders. Next up, the Florida Gators. CJ Brono, corner, 6'1", about 170 pounds, sub 10.4, 100-meter speed, multiple times, electronically. He's one of the fastest recruits in the 2026 class and a great young man. He's from Windermere High School just outside Orlando. He has flipped from Nebraska to the Florida Gators. Billy Napier and his squad are really doing a good job, and it's out of the blue. It's so wild because they were down to one commitment at one point. And I'm like, what is going on at Florida? Hey, man, you got to give credit when it's due. Florida has earned it. They are rolling on the recruiting trail. You could even argue over the last 2 to 3 weeks, they're the hottest team in all of college football recruiting. And CJ is going to add to that. This is a corner that was really dominant at Under Armour. He is a player that is probably underrated because of where he plays at Windermere. That's not a program that traditionally competes for titles or anything. But once he went to Under Armour, had a great event, his recruitment blew up. Penn State, Florida, you name it, they came after him. And CJ decided to take his talents to Gainesville. So congrats to CJ. Good luck to him being a Gator. Next up, congrats to Illinois. Did I see this coming? No, I did not. But that's why recruiting is so much fun. The Illini, they didn't just get commitments. They got 4 of them in a short period of time. Just kind of want to go over it briefly here. From the 15th to today, they got Jalen Stewart, defensive end out of Pearland, Texas, which is just outside of Houston. They got Caden Bennett, a defensive end out of Connecticut. They also got another DB from the greater Houston area, Missouri City on the west side, Isaiah Williams. And then they got one of their best offensive line recruits in years in Kai Pritchard out of Toms River, New Jersey. 4 guys. Boom, 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 boom. Illinois recruiting, don't look now, but based on the national rankings, Rivals, 24/7, etc., they're all ranking them quite higher than what you would expect. And they got Nasir Rankin in this class. He's one of the best players in the Midwest. I think he could play Georgia, Texas, wherever. And they're just getting a bunch of really good 3-star, some lower 4-star guys, and they're just building talent. I don't really know why it's taken this long for Illinois to kind of figure it out. It's a huge state. They got Chicago there, but they're starting to keep a few more kids home. And again, they're dipping into Texas, New Jersey. If Illinois can do that consistently, this can be a team that year in and year out goes to major bowl games that might even contend for playoffs. That's really awesome because I like to see some different teams get involved, and congrats to them. So once again, Illinois has gotten 4 commitments here in just over a week. That's really impressive. Baylor has also done pretty well here lately. They gained commitments. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 just over the last few days. Jordan Davis, defensive back out of Plano. Kai Wesley, tight end all the way up in Utah. And then out of Baton Rouge, Tyrone Morgan. Can this be Dave Aranda's class that kind of gets them over the top? They're trending in the right direction, but they don't have any elite kids. They're in on a few guys, and their best recruits probably London Smith, the kid that's local to them. He's from Waco, where Baylor University is at, but they're doing a pretty good job. I'm curious, though, can they get a few of the elite kids or flip some guys down the road if they have a good season? They certainly have a great quarterback. They've got some really talented players at wide receiver, running back. This is going to be an interesting year for Baylor. They've got a world of potential. Do not be shocked if they end up in the Big 12 title game. Also, looking down the list of commitments, let's go down and just talk about some of the guys. Before we get into the scheduled commits, I'm going to talk about a couple of key guys that are going to be making their decisions here in the next few days. But there are plenty of commitments all over the Power 4 and beyond. So I just kind of want to go over some of them. I'm not going to hit everybody here, but Michael Drescher, a kicker out of the greater Chicago area, is headed to the University of Michigan. We've got Kai Wheaton out of Allen, Texas, the famous program just outside of Dallas. It's going to be an Oregon State Beaver. UCF gets Matthew Achipinti. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Linebacker. He's from Don Bosco up in Jersey, one of the best programs in the Northeast. Jaron Jones is going to be a Washington Husky. He's a corner out of Mission Viejo, just on the edge of Los Angeles. Maxwell Lovett out of Cherry Creek on the edge of Denver. Wide receiver, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Is going to be a Kansas State Wildcat. Isaac Obraka going to Georgia Tech. He's at a Raven Gap, the private school that's a boarding institution up in North Georgia, going to play for the Yellow Jackets. Robert Reddick, he's a safety from Ben Davis High School in Indianapolis. He's going to be a Kansas Jayhawk. Iverson Garcia, defensive lineman out of Powell, Tennessee, in the eastern part of the state. He's headed down to play at USF. We're going to be talking about Devin Hamilton playing for Colorado State the next few years out of Mill Creek, one of the better programs in the state of Georgia, just outside Atlanta. Wide receiver, 6'4", 200 pounds, playing for Colorado State. And we also have probably not a surprise, I guess, but UCF fans probably won't like this. Jakari Watson's going to USF. I did not see that until just now. Osceola High School in Kissimmee, just on the edge of Orlando. USF dips into the backyard of UCF. Kai Wesley, I talked about him. I'm curious to see what he does at Baylor, the tight end. And we also have Syracuse getting Tyrell Grant Jr., an all-around player, could play on either side of the ball. Probably, I'm going to guess, play DB for Syracuse. He is from Suffolk, Virginia. When I come back, I want to talk a little bit about some of the players that are going to be announcing their decisions. We've got some big names coming up. Notre Dame's probably going to get somebody. Texas, I think so. And then a quarterback. Arguably the best player in the class of 2026 is going to be making his decision as well. That is next here on the Portal Podcast. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building actual wealth. There's also this thing called convenience, making sure that you get everything you need done with your finances quicker and more efficiently. With Monarch, you can do that because you can put everything under their app and check it out whenever you want. Really easy to do with Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first year. We are to scheduled commitment season, and this is where the fun begins. And thank you to everybody once again for making the Portal Podcast your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get us: Spotify, Apple, Podbean, YouTube, you name it. But the commitments now, we've got a bunch of them scheduled, and there's going to be commitments today. who knows how many more will pop in addition, because that's the randomness of recruiting, which I find a lot of fun. But we got a few that we need to talk about. And let's just kind of go down the list here a little bit. Scheduled commitment. Sincere Johnson expected to pick Ohio State. He's from the Cleveland area, linebacker, been a recruit that Ohio State's went after since his freshman year. Really great kid. I had a chance to meet him in South Florida at the Battle Miami tournament. He's a good guy. Brandon Arrington's going to be making his decision here very soon. That's one of the best players in the country, regardless of position. I personally like him at receiver better. Many people like him at DB and probably more at DB, but either way, he's elite. He's from the San Diego area. It's going to be Oregon or Texas A&M. That's coming up in the next couple of days. Ryder Lyons. This one's interesting. June 24th, he just visited BYU, had a great visit. His brother is a tight end for the USC Trojans. Oregon's been all over him. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss have been all over him. June 24th for Ryder Lyons. Great player out of Folsom, California, just outside of Sacramento. 6'2", 6'3", 225 pounds. Tremendous athlete, and he's just really accurate. You could argue he's the best player in the country. He is going to take an LDS mission, though, for 1 year, not two, for one. So he's essentially a 27 recruit. Oregon and all these different programs going after him don't care because he's so good, and I really don't blame him. Bodney Cleveland. That's a kid that's going to announce his decision on the 21st of June. Texas, Florida, and Auburn are the finalists. Texas is the team trending for the defensive tackle out of Birmingham. I expect him to end up at Texas based on all the stuff that I've seen. It's like overwhelming. But in recruiting in today's world and NIL, you never know. Also, we've got one other guy that is going to be announcing tomorrow, and his recruitment has been all over the place. Joey O'Brien out of LaSalle College. He's from the same high school as Grayson McHugh, the player that committed to Notre Dame, and that's the team trending for him. Barring something unforeseen, I expect the Irish to land Joey O'Brien, safety or corner or receiver, could play any of them. 6'3", 6'4", about 190 pounds. He is really, really athletic. I think that's a young man that's going to end up being very good no matter where he plays and possibly playing multiple roles. One last point that I want to make here before I wrap up today's show. We're going to be seeing all these commitments flying everywhere. That's fine, but do not be surprised when there's a couple of really big shocks. This time of year, it happens for me and everybody else in the recruiting industry. We know most of the time where kids are going, or at least have a really good idea. We're about to that point, there's going to be a shock. I'm just calling it now. I don't know who it's going to be. There's going to be a recruiting shocker coming up in the next week. We'll see if I'm right or not, but every year there seems to be like one or two of those. We're due for one. Thank you once again for making the Portal Podcast your first listen each and every day. Truly appreciate you stopping in. Please hit that like button, notification bell, and subscribe to this podcast. We will see you again soon on the Portal Podcast.